Hello and welcome back to a new episode of Let's Play Fallen Earth. I guess today we'll once again, for the I don't know how many time we've already been there, try to get into Toro Bend, or what it was called, and do some questing there. We already did some quests there, I can dimly remember that, but most of the time we've been getting our asses kicked. But now with new ranged weapons... Why doesn't the game load? Hello. Ah, there. But maybe now with new items and not melee anymore, but ranged, it might be easier. Or it might be more difficult. Or I might run out of ammo at the most inconvenient time. I don't know. We'll see. There was, when I launched Fallen Earth, there was something about an update on the Gamers First system or something, and because of that you can't play their games right now, but I thought, what the heck, the launch button is still there, and so far the game launched. Or launched, or whatever. But it's extremely slow right now. I don't know, maybe the game will be unplayable once I'm in, because they are still updating their systems and forgot to shut down Fallen Earth. I don't know. Or maybe only the first loading process will take that long, and once I'm in it will be normal. I have no idea. I've recently created a guild on Dota 2. I don't have much time to game these days, but I thought if I'm already gaming something like Dota 2 at times, then I could at least try to make sure that there are people online with whom I want to play that game. And invited a bunch of people who seemed okay. The problem is that they're all German, so I probably could record the videos, but yeah, it wouldn't make any sense for the English speaking audience of my YouTube videos. Not that there are that many people, but yeah, there's no reason to scare away the English speakers with German videos in addition to my English videos with a German accent. Is it one of those things where the loading bar starts off quickly and gets slower and slower and will never reach the end? Anyway, in case some of you people are into board games, which I am, I like board games a lot, like Dominant Species or Pandemic or Robo Rally and Small World and such stuff. There's in midst of October or end of October, somewhere around that, is one of the world's largest gaming fair regarding board and card games mostly, but also it merged with some comic thing, and now it has, I don't know, insane amount of visitors. It's here in Germany in the city of Essen, and some of my buddies come from England, and I know certain people from the US who are coming over to Germany just to go to that board game or gaming event in general. And in case you're near Germany by any reason and are into board games, I can highly advise you to visit that. It's in the city of Essen, And I know it's just lots of fun. I go there with my friends, and then we'll first try out some of the new board games, and there are tables everywhere where you can sit down and employees explain the games to you, and then we split up and everyone do something else and look for. You can also buy used board games for cheap if you're looking for some, and buy new board games for cheaper prices, and so on and so on. And I don't know, it's just lots of fun. That was the advantage of having back in the days a screen with just a resolution of 320 times 260. There were no loading bars which would go that slowly because there were not enough pixels on the screen to display such a slow process or progress. I guess once the game has finally loaded, if it ever does, it will probably just display an error like connection lost, or I don't know. The game itself launched at normal speed, and I could see my characters and whatnot, and I don't know. Does it make even sense to wait? Is it even moving? I was working at work. I was fiddling around with an iPad for the first time. I don't have a tablet computer myself, and there were also some progress bars which took extremely long. And there I was missing a cursor to see if the bar is still actually moving. Actually, I think the game here has right now already given up and stopped loading, and it's just like the minimum speed of the loading bar that's still progressing. It's getting slower and slower. Blah 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 blah. Recently I've bought on my lunch break at work, I was going to a nearby supermarket to buy some food for lunch. I was coming along an antique bookstore, not quite antique, just older stuff that's out of print. And they had there some Isaac Asimov books from 60 years ago or something. And they were selling them for maybe $2 or whatever the book. So I bought one, so I had something to read because I forgot the book I'm actually reading right now. And it's just, I don't know, it's always interesting to read old science fiction. If it's like telling a story in the far, far future of 2008 or something. But it's interesting how those science fiction authors from, I don't know, half a century or some even a century ago imagined the future, and how in some ways they've been just very correct. And in other ways they were just guessing into the wrong direction, like that computers would still mostly communicate with humans by printing out these punch cards with holes in them, and each and every human would have to learn by heart how to read them, or something like that. But sometimes they're also surprisingly accurate, so those authors. I think this will be the most interesting For an Earth video I've ever made. Come on. I guess I'll give up. Or will I? It's only 2 icons until the end of the bar. and I'm like 99% sure I then get an error message or get into a game that's like unplayable because of the lag or something. I've pondered about creating a small game myself, since I do have some programming skills. Like, I'm not the best programmer in the world, otherwise guess I'd be rich or something. But I've already created some small games in the past, like some Flash games, and put ads in them or sold the license or something. And I pondered about creating a small game for smartphones and tablets or something. But it's just, if you're having a 40-hour job anyway, and you come home and you care some for the flat, and then you play a game of Dota 2 or something, and maybe a friend comes over, and then there's just nearly no time to do all that stuff. Of course I could get a part-time job instead, but yeah, the way the demographics are changing over time, the population and the way the society is aging and stuff, I'll probably get no rent or anything when I'm old. So if I'd only work part-time all the time, I'd have no money at all when I'd be old, and that would really suck. The problem is I can't even tap out if I'd, or maybe I should just stop recording and continue in case the game starts. Why didn't I think of that earlier? I just thought all the time, oh, you started recording, now you can't tap out of the game, because then the recording will screw up and maybe the file gets corrupted or whatever. So you either have to stop for good or continue. Guess I'll do that. So, in case you just see this uploaded, then that means that the game was, as expected, still screwed up because of the game's first update. And in case you see a video after this directly, then it probably worked. We'll see. Or maybe I just let this video run and add some soundtrack of, I don't know, some horror soundtrack, or maybe Mission Impossible or something. But then YouTube is complaining again about rights and all that shit. Maybe some Christmas music. I'll stop the recording here. I'm sure you don't want to see the other 20 minutes that those 1.5 icons of loading bar might take just to see an error message. So see you pretty soon, or see you later, I guess.